This is a brain scan. This bright spot, this is your basal ganglia. And this is exactly where you're stuck at the same brainy level for the past 3 months. And I want to tell you something that you probably never heard before. The reason you're stuck is not your strategy. It's not your skill sets, not your offer, not your market, not your team, not your work ethic. And it has nothing to do with your talent or your IQ. You're stuck because there's a part of your brain that is working perfectly, doing exactly what it was built to do, but it's capping your revenue. And this happens to every founder you know. The ones ahead of us, the ones behind us, the one who look like they have figured it out, every single one that you know. And the difference between those who break through and those who stay stuck is not talent, is not luck, it's how fast they can identify the pattern and run the right playbook to break it. Your basal ganglia has one job, and it does not care about your goals, does not care about your revenue targets or the business you're trying to build. All it cares is about saving energy by doing what's familiar. That's it. That's the entire function. So every time you sit down to do the work that actually moves your business forward, your basal ganglia fires and pulls you back to what it knows. That doesn't mean you're weak. That doesn't mean you don't want it badly enough. It means that your brain is running the wrong pattern. This is not a character flaw. This is biology. And the ones who move the fastest do not fight their own biology. Instead, they leverage it. There's a very famous experiment about this done by Martin Seligman in the 1960s that changed everything we just thought about how smart, capable people can stay stuck. He placed 2 dogs in a box. On one side, he gave them electric shocks. On the other side, there was safety, no shocks. And there was a low barrier between them, and any dog could jump it. At first, he restrained those dogs and shocked them repeatedly. There was no escape. They tried, they struggled, but nothing worked for them. Then they put them in the box with the barrier, and the dogs did not jump. They lay down and accepted the shocks. Not because they could not escape, they literally could, but the brain had encoded the wrong lesson. That trying doesn't work. And Sigmund called this learned helplessness. And now I want you to think the last time you tried an outreach channel, sent some messages, got no response, and quietly decided this doesn't work for me. This wasn't a conclusion you reach after consistent execution for long enough to get actual data to discard that rationally. Because your brain developed a neural pathway to protect you from trying again, in order to protect you from fear, from pain, from the risk of losing status. And that's what I see in a lot of our clients is that they try outreach, they send 10, 15 messages, they get 2 responses, nothing closes, and the brain doesn't think, I just need more volume, I need more proof, I'm just going to figure it out. No, the brain automatically defaults to, this doesn't work for me, why should I even risk it? So over time, doing outreach just becomes extremely hard to do because the brain decided that it wasn't worth trying. And this happened to Seligman dogs. This happens to anyone who is stuck in business. Every time you sit to do something you don't want to do and you end up doing the easy thing, you are falling prey to your basal ganglia. And I remember a guy came to me doing about 18 to 20 a month. And he was very smart, skilled, had great clients, recurring revenue, and he knew what he needed to do in order to double or triple his business, which was basically outreach and going to conferences. And he hadn't done any of those in months. And when we started working together, we mapped out everything that he was doing on any given week. And it turns out he was doing 4 hours a day on YouTube, and he called it research. He was learning about new design stuff. He was learning about AI. He was learning about OpenClaw. He was doing research. But he told himself that research was time well spent, but really he was on YouTube in order to not do the work that he needed to do, to avoid outreach basically. Once he had delivered for his clients 4 hours a day, then he would just watch YouTube forever and never really started moving in that direction. And even when he tried, it didn't work because he didn't try hard enough. So his brain encoded, this doesn't work for me, why should I even care? So he just defaulted to researching on YouTube things he will never use to solve problems he didn't have because he was avoiding the thing he knew he needed to do. That's the first thing we did. We literally rewired that association. We gave him a dashboard. He understood the exact patterns he was deploying, and his business tripled within 2 months, like very quickly, just because he started doing outreach and stopped avoiding it. That's it. If this has happened to you, understand that you're not lazy. You're just untrained. Because you're not doing the thing you know you need to do because you're weak. You're not doing it because the fear of doing it feels more true to you than the potential outcome that you're chasing. The fear has more evidence behind it than the goal does. And that's the ceiling. The 20K a month that quickly becomes the 20K year if you do nothing about it. And I've learned something about working with 400 founders at this point, is that those who break through the fastest are not the ones who try the hardest. They're the ones who identify the bottleneck and then run a playbook to break it. Not a complicated playbook, just a simple way of going towards the thing they're avoiding. For some people it's outreach, for some people it's content. It can be hiring, it can be firing, it doesn't matter. There's always something you're not doing that you know for a fact will take you to the next level. And our next level is always predicated on us doing the uncomfortable work that will take us there. That is a universal pattern. So if you truly want to get to 20, 50, 100 to 200, 300, 400, realize there's a lot of uncomfortable things you need to do. And the sooner you accept they need to be done and rewire your subconscious association with it, the faster you get there. And we know because that's what we do at Selfmastered. We literally help you identify the patterns that are curtailing your ability to execute, rewire it, systematically get you data that it is working so that over time you get to where you want to go. And this is not random productivity advice. This is not random business coaching. This is not random tactics. This is literally brain rewiring at the root, because that's the only thing that works in making founders or any elite entrepreneur really execute. Becoming the kind of person that is incapable of plateauing, because every time you find the next thing you need to be doing, you accept it naturally, you rewire your association to it, and you execute so well that you just break through. That's what elite operators do. That's what every Navy SEAL, every Delta Force, every elite athlete, every elite performer of any kind is trained to do. And this is what the smart founders do to succeed in business. If you want to help, book a call below. See you.